Alright, so here's what I'm going to teach you. The proper way to hold the guitar. Take your hand, form a fist. Take whatever hand you use to fret the instrument, place it on top of the fist. Now remove your fist. Keep your hand in the same position. Note that you're holding your entire arm up with your shoulder. Your shoulder is back. It's not hunched forward. Okay, this is important. Turn it over. This is the proper position to have your hand in. You're going to take the guitar neck and you're going to put it in between your thumb and your fingers, like this. This is important. Notice how my thumb is on the back of the neck. It's not curled over the side like this. The only time you want to have your thumb over the side of the neck like this is if you're going to bend a string. Do some vibrato. Okay, because you need the leverage. Secondly, you need to play on your fingertips. It's important to pay attention to the index finger and the pinky finger. When you're playing the guitar, you're going to want to play with the side of the finger, on the very tip, on the extreme edge. I'll show you. Push the string down, okay? You see? That's where you should see the indentation for your index finger. Now I'm going to show you where you should have the indentation for your pinky finger. Okay? You're going to want to have it right there. These two fingers, your middle and ring finger, will kind of just fall into line as a result of having your hand like this. This is the correct way to play the instrument. It may not feel comfortable to you at this point in time because you haven't actually gotten used to playing like this. However, if you play with your thumb over the side like this, it can make your hand go into an improper position where it's angled backwards and you can actually injure yourself like this. Now, some players have a natural slant to their fingers, okay? And if that's the case, then it's okay to keep a slight slant like a violin player, okay? However, I do recommend that you keep your fingers in line with the frets, okay? By doing this, it allows your hand to open up in a natural way, and it also allows you to play scales without having to strain your hand. And this is important. If you don't play like this, then you can develop problems in the future. Now I'm going to show you how to hold the pick. Hold your hand out, okay? See this bone right here? That's where you're going to place the pick, okay? You're going to place the pick right here. You're going to let your thumb rest on top, all right? You don't want to squeeze really hard. If you do that, you're not going to be able to play fast. You're going to get in your own way, and your hand's going to cramp up. This is difficult for beginners in the beginning because you haven't allowed your mind to be able to make that connection with your hand and develop the proper amount of tension that you need in order to hold the pick. A good way that I recommend to find this is take your hand, hold the pick, loosen as much as possible until it's going to drop out. All right? Now find that point where it stays. Now kind of move your wrist around, all right? If it stays, then that is the right amount of pressure you need, okay? By doing this, this will allow you to play fast, all right? Now, you want to place your hand, okay? This bone right here, I like to put it on the bridge. And then this area in between, I like to put it on the saddle right here, like this. This allows you to have a good idea of where your hand is in relation to the other strings. It's important to note that these fingers are not flexed, they're just resting on the guitar. They're not pushing into the guitar. That causes tension to go down the entire forearm, and that's bad. Then, you just move your hand very slightly back and forth. It feels like a twitch. You can experiment with how hard to press the string. It's also important to note that you should let the tip of the pick do most of the work. Let it meet the string, pass through the string. The string should meet with some resistance and then give way. Notice how most of the motion is in my wrist, okay? Alright, that's how you properly pick. When you strum, you do not strum from the elbow. Okay? If you play a chord, do not do this. You want to use the wrist like this. It's a rotational movement, okay? This is very, very tense. It won't sound fluid at all, and you might hurt yourself, okay? So, it's like this, okay? Keep your wrist loose. Alright. I'm going to show you how to play the introductory riff from Smoke on the Water. After that, we're going to move on to some basic open position chords. Alright. What you're going to do, start here on the first fret, count up 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright? Now you're going to push down with your index finger. Alright? And with your pinky, play the 5th fret of the next string. Okay? The strings on the guitar are labeled as follows. E, which is the biggest string. The next string is the A string. The next string is the D string. The next string is the G string. The next is the B string. And then the E string. Now, a good way to remember the names of the strings is the acronym Every Atom Does Garbage Before Eating. Alright. Count up 3 frets to the 3rd fret. You're going to see an inlay and a dot there. Okay? That's a good reference point. Alright. Push it down. Now on the A string, you're going to count up 5 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep this position, remember? The neutral position. Push down the pinky onto the 5th fret of the A string, while also holding down your index finger. You can use these 2 fingers to help support the pinky in the meantime, because it's probably not going to be very strong. Alright. Now we're going to count up 4 more frets. Up to the 6th fret. Okay? Your reference point is that it's in between the inlays. Now we're going to go up 2 more frets. Alright. This is the 8th fret. 3, 6, 8. The second part goes up to the 9th fret, down to the 8th fret again. Okay. Again. This is not in time yet, but I'm just showing you where to put your hand. Alright, tap your foot. It's important that you keep a consistent pulse while you are playing music. This is very important because people don't really want to listen to people playing out of time. It's very noticeable even if you don't play an instrument. You're going to notice this. So tap your foot. 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9, 8, 3, 6, 8, 6, 8. Again. Now up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Again, slowly. Alright, so you notice that the second time you play through, okay, you're going to be playing the notes when your foot is in the air. And then when you hit the 8th fret at the very end of that, it's going to be when your foot is on the ground. And that's important. That's called syncopation, okay? You can count in your head 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, that's how you play the opening riff from Smoke on the Water. Now, I'm going to show you some chords, okay? This is called G. It's a major chord. We'll get more into the difference between minor chords as we progress, but these chords will help you be able to play a lot of different songs. You're going to put your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, okay? You're going to put your index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, alright? Then you're going to put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E string as well. Now, it is okay to have your thumb over the side of the guitar when you're down here because the wrist is straight, alright? Now you have to make sure that you play on the tips of your fingers, okay? If your fingers are flat, you're going to start hitting other strings and muting stuff. That doesn't sound right. Remember, tips of the fingers. Alright? I like to use my back and kind of the weight of my whole hand to push the string down. I'm not squeezing, it's more of a pushing movement that I use from back here. And let your arm just fall down into the strings, like it's almost gonna fall off the guitar. That's a G chord. The next chord is a C chord. Take your ring finger, 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd fret of the D string, 1st fret of the B string. Do not play this note. You're going to want to mute it with the side of your ring finger. Make sure that the index finger is curled. This way, you're not going to mute the top string. Make sure your middle finger is curled as well and you're playing on the tip of the finger. This way, it doesn't mute the G string. Remember, this kind of shape to the hand. Sit up straight, let your hand fall into the guitar, and strum. My pinky is not pushing down any notes. Now I'm going to show you E minor. Place your index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Take your middle finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the D string. Again, tips of the finger. Here's how you switch between chords. Hold this for 4 beats. This is G, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go to E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. I recommend doing this in front of the TV. Alrighty. Those chords should be able to get you started playing some music. Thank you very much.